What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response. We cover political news. We keep you up to date and keep you informed with everything that the government does. And by God, Joe Biden is freaking at it again. Check this out, y'all. This is, once again, trying to piss me off today. I don't know why. White House touts efforts to lower gas prices ahead of July 4th travel blitz. Now, you might be thinking, you might hear that headline and be like, why would that piss him off? What's wrong about that? Why not try to lower gas prices? Gas prices have been high as hell ever since Joe Biden took office. I think it's a good thing to try to lower gas prices. Well, think back the last couple of times that the White House got out and touted lowering gas prices. What happened? Yeah, that's right. He took oil from our strategic petroleum reserves to lower gas prices so we don't feel the stress at the pump. Once again, Joe Biden does not care about our country whatsoever. That strategic petroleum reserve is not for economic strategy, right? It's strategic for in case we get into a war. We won't have to worry about buying oil from anywhere. We'll have enough oil to fight an entire war and not have to buy any oil, not have to replenish our oil, just in case we can't, right? If we get into war with some country that we buy most of our oil from, we don't have to worry about that. But once again, Joe Biden doesn't care about that. He could care less. He's only worried about his polling numbers. And Joe Biden himself, is not going to make his polling numbers get any better. So anything he does is only going to make it worse, right? Most of the country is going to see, oh, you took oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Good freaking job, buddy. Yeah, it's not going to make his poll numbers go up. Nothing he can do right now is going to make his poll numbers go up. I'm sorry, but stealing oil and gas from your Strategic Petroleum Reserves to make the gas prices a few cents cheaper, yeah, that's all it's going to do. Maybe a few cents. It's just outright insanity to me, right? Like, they talk about Donald Trump constantly, the stuff he did, but what is it? Donald Trump's insane, right? Donald Trump's the evil orange man, right? What's so evil and orange about him, right? Oh, he says some mean stuff on X, or he says some mean stuff on social media. Yeah, that's all you got. How about Joe Biden stealing oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, selling it to freaking China like an idiot, right? Opening the freaking southern border. Well, like, I could get into a list of litany of stuff that Joe Biden has done. Denying oversight, Afghanistan, and then lies about it on the debate stage, talking about no soldiers have gotten killed under his watch. Like, STFU, bro. Seriously. Let's get into it before I go on this unhinged rant about everything I dislike about Joe Biden. The Biden administration announced on Tuesday the sale of 1 million barrels of gasoline, making its effort to reduce gas prices ahead of the 4th of July travel blitz. The Department of Energy's Office of Petroleum Reserves will release the 1 million barrels, about 42 million gallons of gasoline, from a Northeast reserve to drive down prices at the pump before what's expected to be record-breaking travel for the 4th of July holiday, the DOE said in a statement. Gas prices have come down nearly 20 cents in the last 2 months, but we know there is more to do. This release will help lower prices at the pump, building on other actions by President Biden, including historic releases from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, record energy production, that's a lie, and the largest ever investment in clean energy, National Economic Advisor Lael Brainard wrote Tuesday. Once again, lying, right? Talking about record energy production. No, I'm sorry. You don't have record energy production. You can say you have record energy production, but hang on. How many LNG projects are you trying to shut down, Biden? How many leases are you trying to stop these companies from drilling on? All of them. And then talking about he's got all these leases, but it's in areas that have previously been explored, and there's no gas there. That's the leases he's talking about. So he can get out there and tout, oh, we got all these leases. Yeah, oh, you could just buy these leases, right? No, they don't want those leases. They've already explored those leases. There's no freaking gas there, so there's no reason for them to buy those leases. But that doesn't stop the Biden administration from lying to the American people, saying, oh, we got all these leases. And then on top of that, now they're charging more, right? They upped the price for those leases, causing gas prices to go up once again. But I'm tired of these people lying to the American people constantly. It's pissing me off, right? They're trying to shut down a LNG project in my town, one of the biggest in the world. It's going to be a huge LNG project. Major infrastructure. And the Biden administration is trying to shut it down. As a matter of fact, that's going to be my next video. We're talking about that because, yeah, that's just, it's outright insane. His climate crusade, his crusade against the climate or whatever is damaging our economy. It's destroying this country because Joe Biden it's just act after act after act. And then he's subsidizing all this quote unquote green energy, this crap that's never going to work, all these wind farms and solar panels and all this other BS, right? Put money into batteries and trying to force electric cars on everybody. It's just utter insanity, and I don't understand why Joe Biden is trying to force this on, damaging the economy all along the way. It just pisses me off. This is one of the most animating topics for me because, once again, I live in a town where I'm surrounded by 15 industrial refineries. Right? There's 8 oil refineries around me. We've got other chemical plants and all this other BS. But that is the bread and butter of this area. And Joe Biden is shutting it down just willy-nilly like it doesn't even freaking matter. Brainerd took a swipe at congressional Republicans on Tuesday, arguing they have yet to offer a signal proposal to lower costs. A signal proposal? I think they meant single proposal. While Biden is fighting every day for hardworking families. Yeah, once again, this dude is a liar. He's worse than Joe Biden. Joe Biden is not fighting every day for hardworking families. He's fighting to eat breakfast. He's fighting to get out of bed. He's fighting to speak, for God's sakes. We saw that during the debate. He can't hardly talk. He can't hardly walk down steps. That's what Joe Biden is fighting for. He's not fighting for middle America. He's not fighting for broke America. He's not fighting for families. He's not fighting for none of that. And what do you mean, by the way, when you say, congressional Republicans haven't offered a single proposal to lower gas prices? Once again, it's the corporate press trying to manipulate the population. Well, the corporate press and this guy, right? Because what can congressional Republicans do to lower gas prices, you might be thinking? Yeah, nothing whatsoever at all. Joe Biden is in charge of the federal government, right? Oil is drilled on federal lands. So Joe Biden is in charge of the leases that he leases to those companies that drill for oil. And if he's putting a stranglehold on those leases, they can't drill for oil. That means we have to buy oil from abroad, which is going to raise the cost of oil. It's going to raise the cost of gas. It's going to raise the cost of everything. That's what I don't get. People don't understand just how dependent our entire economy is on the oil industry. People don't understand that, especially the climate zealots. They just do not get it whatsoever. They just want to shut the oil industry down. That would be economic suicide. Say bye-bye to your Starbucks. Say bye-bye to Whataburger or McDonald's or Popeyes or Cane's or any of those fast food restaurants because you wouldn't have it anymore. Say bye-bye to going to buy groceries. Say bye-bye to the Family Dollar. Why? Because you won't have oil and gas for the trucks that deliver those goods. It's just mind-blowing that these people are willing to knock us back to the freaking 1840s all for their climate change religion. It's nuts. Instead of trying to focus their efforts on carbon capture, let's pull more CO2 out of the atmosphere instead of trying to just stop CO2 production altogether, because you're not going to do that. I'm sorry, there's way too many people and there's way too much that depends on CO2 production, cars, internal combustion engines, trucks, diesel engines, coal-fired power plants, by the way, where you get your electricity from, that relies heavily on the fossil fuel industry that you're trying to shut down. Are you outright insane? Let's keep going. More than 70 million people are expected to travel 50 miles or more the week of July 4th, the AAA predicted last week. This is a 5% higher than the number of travelers during last year's 4th of July and up 8% from 2019's numbers, the company said. By releasing this reserve ahead of July 4th, we are ensuring sufficient supply flows to the Northeast at a time hardworking Americans need it the most, Secretary of Energy Jennifer Granholm said Tuesday. You know what? If Biden wouldn't be so restrictive with those oil leases on federal lands, we wouldn't have to worry about this. If he would have continued Donald Trump's policies on oil production, we would be a net exporter of energy instead of a importer of energy. Yeah, we were well on our way. We were pretty much there at that point. We didn't have to buy oil from all these other places. We had enough leases open. We had enough production running that we could have sustained ourselves with oil. But no, Joe Biden comes in and shuts all of that down. Shut down the biggest LNG pipeline, killing thousands of jobs, potentially, right? Just, it's mind-blowing the damage Joe Biden has done to our economy. And then he wonders why inflation rose to 9%. Yeah, because you're coming in here and you're starting to regulate everything into the freaking ground. You're cutting off oil production. You're cutting off natural gas production. You're doing all this, shackling our economy and bolting it to the freaking ground. I wonder why inflation went up. Contracts were awarded to 5 companies, including BP, Georgie Warren, LLC, Vitol, Freeport Commodities, and Irving Oil. The barrels were sold on an average of $2.34 per gallon, blah, blah, blah. We get it. The release from the Northeast Gasoline Supply Reserve was expected to be complete by Monday and will hit the market shortly after, per the DOE. The sale will ensure gasoline supply for local retailers in a variety of states, including Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Interesting. That's just the Northeast. So, once again, Joe Biden doesn't give a damn about the rest of the country. That's proof right there. You know why I say that? Because we have a strategic oil preserve about 20 miles to the south of me. Don't do it, Joe. The White House's latest move to drive down gas prices comes ahead of the 2024 presidential election in which President Biden is vying for his second Oval Office term. While presidents have little or nothing directly to do with gas prices, they are often credited or blamed for it by voters. Yeah, that is because they don't directly. You love how the corporate press, they don't have direct, like as if the president was in contact with the freaking gas stations and saying, yes, why don't you make the price this much? No, but they control the base industry, right? All of those companies drill on federal lands, unless they're private lands, right? But there's no more private land to drill on because all that was drilled up years ago. So now you got to go on federal lands and you got to get a lease for it. And guess what? Like I said in the beginning of the video, Joe Biden isn't releasing any more of those leases. He's put a stranglehold on that sector of the economy. He doesn't want oil companies to produce oil. He said that in his campaign, that he was going to shut down the oil industry. And he is outright doing it. And we are having to pay for it. And now he is very immaturely going after our strategic oil reserves to lower gas prices. That is the dumbest thing a president can do. Of course it's not really, but as far as this is concerned, it's a very stupid maneuver to lower gas prices a few cents, because that's all it's going to do. And it's only in the Northeast, right? Who cares about you? Who cares about Middle America? Who cares about the West Coast? Nobody. Joe Biden doesn't care about how much you're going to pay for gas. He only cares about the Northeast. That's what that tells the American voter. It's exactly what it tells them. Prices on Monday sat at a national average of $3.49, slightly higher than last week's average of $3.45, according to AAA. This is about 5 cents lower than the national average last year, when prices were about $3.54. And I wonder why they're not mentioning how much gas was under Donald Trump, because it was at least $2 cheaper. At least here it was. right? The gas was under $2 for like 2 years around here under Donald Trump. I wonder why that is. Yeah, that makes everything else cheaper. You know, you can get your economists to say otherwise, but I'm sorry, when everything is delivered by truck or by ship or by train or by airplane, those prices rely on how much gas costs and how much diesel costs and how much jet fuel costs. Those prices rely on that. And Joe Biden doesn't seem to give a damn. I think I've made my point quite clear in this video, but I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. Is this a good idea? Do you believe this is a smart maneuver on behalf of Joe Biden and the Biden administration? Or do you think that Joe Biden's not even there? He's not the one making the decision. It is somebody in his far left extremist administration that doesn't care about how much gas is, and they're just stupidly releasing the strategic oil reserves. It's just dumb to me, but let me know what you think down in the comment section. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.